Planning down, planning down. Planning down, play the string.
Tie her up. Yeah, I'm on.
Watch the skip. Skip on tab. You're going to skip it. Do it. Break down. Break down. Push up. Up. That was flash this time. Flash. Hey, Dodger. AJ's in you. Look at switch it. Hey, got it. Cut. Tyler, 7 coming. He's my two. There you go, one. Army.
They were a team that wouldn't let up, and they were just a good all-around team that could definitely give us a run if, we weren't executing the way that we usually do. So we had to stay on top of things to make sure that we got on top early. And the rest of the game, we just kind of kept that going and just kept building on everything that we've been doing right.
Give me the attack over here too, please. Attack over here. Attack. Hurry up, please. Hey, be the back, go 3. 1, 2, 3. Be the back.
That was just after.
Let's kill it. The snow's on 3. 1, 2, 3. Have some fun.
15 seconds, Tyler.
Tyler, you gotta be ready. 4-man rotation. Tight diamond. Let's go. 4-man rotation. Come on. Good, JP. Hot. Who's my 2? Who's my 2? Hot. Good job staying up. Hot. Fuck it up, D. Hot. D. Hot. Go.
Come on, Ben.
It's something kind of like a reality check. The defense in some games they get kind of lulled to sleep back there. Also, like a lot of the goals are man down goals, and I know there's one point where we had 3 penalties in 1 possession. Stuff like that. It kind of humbles you down a little bit after putting up that many goals. But I think we handled it well, came back and put up plenty more goals after that. So I think, yeah, it's not great to see that happen in some games. We don't want to have it happen in the important games, but it's also good to see it so we know it kind of keep us in check and know we aren't just going to roll everyone.
I think that's a good thing that we need to have, that little pushback, that little competition, especially in our last regular season game. Like, I know we all wanted to win that, but we also wanted to be like a fun match that we'd learn something from. I know after those, so we had 3 penalties on one play, 2 on one player, and 1 on another once we were locked in. We were playing 4v6, and we're kind of like, all right, well, we're gonna play the hardest D we can, but we have to let up an outside shot because it's kind of hard. A 4v6, like we gotta let up an outside shot. Someone's gonna shoot it eventually. Unfortunately, they scored on that.
A lot better offense than what we anticipated, especially the last 2 weeks before that. It had all been games where we hadn't really been tested defensively at all, and so the fact that Hollis had a couple kids who were pretty good and could actually dodge and get good shots off was it was good for our defense to finally see after the 2 weeks without seeing anything. And we weren't really fully ready for it, allowing 9 goals in, and I think they were also more prepared because it was their senior night. They really, really wanted to win, And yeah, I think they ended up playing a really good senior night, and there's some things we could have worked on, and we could have definitely played that game a lot better than what we did.
We talked about that right after the game. We said, guys, in order to get to where we want to get to at the end of the season, we have to clean up some of those little things. We can't have unforced errors. We got to stay out of the penalty box, and we need to learn from our mistakes in the defensive end. Right? We've been trying to be more aggressive. We've been trying to get out on hands. And when we do that, everybody's got to communicate. Some of those breakdowns were, again, when you take a senior captain off the field, an experienced 4-year player, and you replace it with someone who, again, Tyler's a very good player, but he's still learning. Some of that was a breakdown in communication, right? The guys weren't talking the way that they should. We've got to continue to do that and be at that level when we get into the playoffs. Because when we do, we've done some really, really good things.
Hey, Cord! Hey, Cord! Come on, Cord! Hey, Cord! Here we go, gentlemen! Recognize, in, high crease, high crease. Push, push, push. I'm hot. Who's my two? I got two. Be active. Max, my two. Come back. Push it, push it, push it. Connor, cut down, cut down. There you go.
Times like that when we just have a good clicking offense, it's like when the ball gets down there, we can kind of score at like our own discretion just whenever like the offense is clicking like that. So I wouldn't say it was just because it was a lower caliber defense. I think they were a good, strong defense, but I just think that we played at a higher level and just our offense was really playing well together. And sometimes the ball would just get down there, we score right away just because just ball would move fast and we'd be having cutters doing all the right things, and the ball would end up in the back of the net really fast.
We've said it all season. This team's really, really dangerous. There's a lot of guys that can put the ball in the back of the net, and that's been my message to them as we head into playoffs is there doesn't have to be one person. We're not relying on one person. We got to continue to play good team lacrosse, and when we've done that this year, we have been that kind of scary offense like that.
When they're running off ball cutters, it's about communicating and making sure they're down right, making sure they got it. They're playing really well, right? But get it off. Let's have some fun in the second half here. I don't care. You want to put on some music right now? Put on some music right now. Whatever it takes to get yourselves up right now and having some fun playing music. Okay? Let's go. Let's get after these guys. Right? You know what? Come on. Here we go, Maroon. Friday, last week.
Give him out, Jack. Never got it in. Yes, they did get it in. It rolled right through the box. Don't pick it up. You don't have to pick it up. All right. Hey, Hammer! 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 Hammer, who's one? Fire! Hey,
Seeing the numbers that are being put up this season by us, it kind of reminds us, even when we're in some games where we maybe don't put up as many as we would like Portsmouth, we know we have the ability to do it. It's just a matter of executing that, and seeing it happen definitely helps out kind of with everyone's confidence, not just certain people. I think seeing our teammates score definitely ups everyone's confidence, knowing that we don't have to rely on one person or two people to do anything. We know everyone can have their share and everyone can score as many goals as they need.
Did a really good job of reading the defense and what the defense was trying to do to them, and then reacting from it. We had a really good scout going in the game. We kind of knew the strengths of that team and where we wanted to attack it, and some of the weaknesses on defense there, and the guys did a good job of that. It's a team that wanted to press out and put a lot of pressure on the ball, and I thought our guys did a really good job of handling that pressure, being able to draw a slide, follow their slide, get assisted goals. I think I can't remember off the top of my head, but the majority of our goals were assisted in that game.
It's nice to see that all the work we do in practice, and we know how good the offense is, and to see just like the ball get in the back of the net against good teams like that, and just knowing that we can do it whenever we want, and just like we have the offense that can get the ball in the back of the net. We just need to keep executing like that and trust each other. It's good to know that we have that ability going into like the last stretch of the season.
Didn't feel like we put up that many at the time, but then looking back at the score and we put up like 20 something. It's kind of like a normal thing to us, I feel like now. Also, going into playoffs, you want to have your offense confidence up like that, where you're able to put in that many goals and know you can score whenever you want and really just go at any team like that.
Because everyone's like looking at the score, so it definitely does like kind of humble us a little bit, knowing that like we can't be playing the way we did going into playoffs, where like one loss is gonna just knock us out where our season's over. So it's definitely good to like be awake and like realizing that the competition we're gonna face as we get closer to the championship is gonna become increasingly more difficult, as like I was saying earlier, the end of our season was, until Hollis, had been pretty easy.
I think our goaltender Parker, I think he learned some things in that game too. Started off really strong with seeing the ball really well, and then again ran into a time period where he had to overcome, like, okay, they got a few in a row on him, then he's got to regroup, and it was a perfect way to end the regular season, right? Strong opponent right before we go into the playoffs, and now we're gearing up to scrimmage BG on Wednesday.
Keep rolling, right? A few more games, let's do it.
Well, now you messed the whole thing up.
How do I even know this is going to be a good top one? How do I know if this is going to be good?
It's not. That's the point. Oh my God, it's gonna be so bad at that.
This is going to be so bad.
It's gonna be half the team. Let's see it.
I'm very excited to scrimmage BG because it's a lot of my friends that I've known for a while. Kids that live in my town, like Connor Gore and Tim Kiley, and Connor I've known for like my whole life. We grew up together playing lacrosse in our backyard since we were like literally like 4 or 5 years old. So it's fun to get to be able to play against them along with all my other Tomahawks teammates, and they're obviously like such a high caliber
Like
team.
we're gonna treat it pretty much like it's a real game, but I think it's more of the sense to get all of our guys experience with like a top level team like BG. We know a bunch of the guys on the team. We grew up playing Tomahawks or 4-leaf with any of them, mainly Tomahawks. It's kind of just like one of those ones we're gonna go out and have fun, but also gonna try our best.
I know all the guys are really excited. Since the beginning of the season, we've all been wanting the scrimmage and been asking. Had always said like, oh, if we beat them in indoor, then I'll give you guys the opportunity to play them. But now we finally get to play them. I think it's going to be a good game. It probably won't be played as hard as like a regular season game would be, just because it doesn't matter who wins. It's scrimmage. It's just all about learning and kind of just getting better before playoffs start. And that's really what we're looking at. Is just getting everyone better and hopefully not losing all of our confidence against them and putting up a good fight.
Like really up there with some of the best teams in the country, so it'll be very good for us to play a team with like where everyone's good and where we're like trying to figure out who we should put a poll on, and we're really looking at their lineup and be like, oh, we could really do it to any one of these guys. And it'll be fun for us, especially because a lot of us played Tomahawks with a lot of them, or played club with a lot of them, and we know them. So, and we all know that it's like just a scrimmage going into it, but at the same time, it'll be good for us going into playoffs, seeing as we're some of the 2 better teams in the state playing each other. It'll be healthy for both teams going into the playoffs.
Across the board, it's a perfect segue to go into the playoffs, right? Logan's going to get an incredible opportunity in the face-off circle going up against Paulo, kind of measure where he's at during the season. In the defensive end of the field for us, probably the biggest challenge we'll face all season, right? Every single player that, guys are like, who's going to match up against who? I said, guys, it doesn't really matter. We're going to have to make stops. We're going to have to play good, solid, fundamental defense, and Parker's going to have to make saves because, you're not really going to game plan. We'll start off. We'll put matchups in place, and we'll probably just rotate and give guys. I mean, that's a neat part. Is probably just give guys opportunities to go up against these incredible athletes at different positions there. And then for us in the offensive end of the field, again, great goaltenders, really good defenders. It's a team, a hallmark of the Cardinals is always riding and clearing, right? So we'll get to measure ourselves in that way. All things that, in order for us to get to where we want to at the end of the season, we're going to have to be clicking on all cylinders. So could not come at a better time for us to scrimmage them.
We're definitely gonna like work on things that we still struggle with the most, regardless of if we think that one team will do it. Like we find a good way of splitting up practice time, so that way like if like we can find like whatever like Conval or a server might be best at, and working on that while also working on what we need to improve for.
In the quarterfinals, I think we need to like not let down at all, because there's some good teams that could definitely like beat us if we don't execute the right way. So we definitely can't. We have to play every game like it is the championship, because we don't know which game's gonna be our last. So we need to be prepared to ensure that we're doing everything we can to win by as much as we can and do everything we need to.
Yeah, I think it kind of sets the tone for the rest of the playoff games. Like, if you asked me about last year's quarterfinal game, I don't even remember who we played. I don't remember what we did, but I just know that it kind of set the tone for how we're going to play for the rest of the playoffs. You know, they're both pretty good teams we played, but we know we can beat both of them. We're not really worried about who we're playing there. We're worried about how we're going to play and how we're going to come out against them.
Whoever wins on Thursday is who we're going to talk about. But in the meantime, I think Coach is going to say can't look too far ahead, and we got to just stay at the course that we're given. Either playing Oyster River or Conval. I think hopefully we'll get the win and have to move on to the next round.
I mean, you know, we obviously respect both opponents in Conval and Oyster River, but I think if we want to advance further in the playoffs, we have to be thinking about what do we need to do right now to be successful, right? We need to be able to, execute our offense at a high level, be able to, sort of dictate the pace of play on the defensive end of the field, ride and clear really well. So those are the things, not knowing who we're going to play, those are the things we'll be tightening up over the next couple of days. And then Friday, obviously, we'll tweak that a little bit as to who we're playing. But it's a good opening round matchup for us. It's two teams that have the ability to push us a little bit and to hopefully prepare us if we're lucky enough to win that game for the next round after that. But yes, I agree with what you said. We have to be worried about what we need to do right now, and not so much about that first matchup per se.